smartwatch, a fancy kitchen appliance, a gaming console, or a piece of exercise equipment that slowly... Part 2. The Hidden Wealth Trap. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought something that you absolutely had to have, only to forget about it a few weeks later? Maybe it was a smartwatch, a fancy kitchen appliance, a gaming console, or a piece of exercise equipment that slowly turned into the world's most expensive clothes hanger. If you've done that, you're not alone. Almost everyone has. But here's what's fascinating. The problem isn't that we occasionally make bad purchases. The real problem is that we almost never calculate what those purchases truly cost. When you buy a $1,000 phone, most people think they spent $1,000. But that's rarely the full price. Think about everything that follows. The protective case, the screen protector, the wireless earbuds, the insurance plan, the accessories, eventually the battery replacement, and 2 years later, the temptation to buy the newest model. Suddenly, that $1,000 phone quietly becomes a $2,000 habit. And this doesn't only happen with technology. It happens with almost everything we own. A bigger house means higher utility bills, more furniture, more cleaning, more maintenance, higher property taxes. A luxury car doesn't just cost more to buy, it costs more to insure, more to repair, more to maintain, sometimes even more to park. The purchase ends in a single day. The payments continue for years. That's the hidden trap. Most people budget for buying things. Very few budget for owning them. And that's where financial stress begins. Now, here's something even more interesting. Researchers have discovered that humans are surprisingly poor at predicting what will make them happy. We imagine buying something will completely change our lives. Then something strange happens. A few weeks pass, the excitement fades. The new becomes normal. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. In simple terms, your brain quickly gets used to almost everything you buy. That dream car? Soon it's just your car. That expensive watch? Eventually, you stop noticing it's even on your wrist. That giant television? After a month, it feels like every other television you've ever owned, which means the happiness disappears, but the monthly payment doesn't. That's a terrible trade. Now imagine the opposite. Instead of using extra money to buy more things, you invest it. At first, it doesn't feel exciting. Watching your investment account grow by a few dollars isn't nearly as thrilling as opening a brand new gadget. But something amazing happens over time. Your money begins working while you sleep. Every dollar earns another dollar. Then these dollars begin earning more dollars. Slowly, almost invisibly, your future becomes easier. Not because you bought something, but because you owned something that actually increased in value. This is one of the biggest mindset differences between people who struggle financially and people who quietly build wealth. One group buys things that require money. The other buys assets that produce money. It's a subtle difference, but over 10 or 20 years, it creates two completely different lives. Here's another thought that changed the way I look at spending. Every object you own occupies space, not just physical space, mental space. Think about walking into a cluttered room. Your brain immediately starts processing everything around you. Clothes on the chair, unopened packages, pile of paperwork, the things you keep meaning to organize. Even if you don't realize it, your mind is working. Every unfinished task quietly consumes attention. That's one reason people often describe a clean, organized room as peaceful. It's not magic, it's mental freedom. The fewer unnecessary things competing for your attention, the easier it becomes to focus on what truly matters. Ironically, many people work longer hours to buy more possessions than spend their weekends cleaning, organizing, maintaining, and worrying about those same possessions. Instead of owning their belongings begin owning them. Now,
don't misunderstand. There's nothing wrong with enjoying nice things. Money should absolutely improve your life. The goal isn't to become extreme. The goal is to become intentional. Before every purchase, ask yourself one simple: will this improve my life 6 months from now? Not tomorrow, not next week, 6 months from now. If the answer is yes, it's probably a smart purchase. If the answer is, I'm not sure, you may be buying excitement instead of value. That one question alone has saved countless people thousands of dollars. And here's the surprising part. The wealthiest people often aren't the ones who spend the most. They're the ones who spend with the greatest purpose, because every dollar has a job. Every purchase has a reason. Every financial decision moves them closer to freedom instead of further away from it. And that's exactly what we're going to explore next, because once you understand the habits that quietly build wealth, you'll realize that financial freedom has much less to do with your paycheck and much more to do with the choices you make every single day. Let's start with the first habit, a simple rule that can completely change the way you spend money forever.